Hey there everyone, welcome back to Gamevine, and my name is Dave, and, well, these are the Joy-Con. That's right, we are going to start off our Switch controller review with, of course, the Joy-Con. These are a small package, but what a punch they pack. Now they come in varieties of colors. I have a few sets, as you can see here. They also have some fake ones out there, so be wary, but that's for another video. And there are also different like shells and different ways that you can customize your Joy-Cons. Not only do they come in different customizable aesthetics, they are so versatile. So you start off with 2 Joy-Cons when you get a Switch, and that means you can play potentially 2 players. Not every system that comes out can say that. And you can also just like the name, switch these on and play 1 player and just have a handheld. That makes it versatile. We have little knobs that we'll be talking about in the future. You can customize it that way. But not only can you just clip these little guys on the actual system, they have a grip that comes with the system as well that you can make kind of a controller. What I would say about this is it's okay. It looks kind of weird and flat. I am not really too biased. I like to play with controllers, and I just melt into different controllers, and I like to take them for what they are. So I'm not really bothered by most controllers. With that being said, this isn't too comfortable, but I can play Smash Brothers with this if I have to. Don't want to, but I could. So that's pretty cool. Not only do these little guys snap into that, they have so many accessories, and I don't have all of them right now, but we'll be going through a lot as we go. But this is the Ring Con, and this is an exercise game, and I tell you, it really is an exercise. Look at me fumble here. So this just goes right in here and click. Now I'm ready to work out. And the Joy-Cons are just, they are like candy when it comes to collecting. The way that they play, I would say it's mediocre to good in some occasions, and when you're playing with them in some formats or like ways that you have them, because you can just have them in like the controllers. They are comfortable and they work out really well. In other occasions, when you have them little tiny Joy-Cons like this and you're just playing Mario Party, if you're not doing anything when it comes to like vibration or motion, and you're actually playing buttons, it can be pretty cramped. And I don't know, I have a little above average hands. They're still pretty tiny, and even I can't really get comfortable with this. So there are accessories to complement that, and I'll go over these a little more in depth in future, but you can do stuff like that as well. And there are also more imitators. Again, I keep showing these things off, but these are things to come in the future because we're going over all these controllers. Now they also come with these straps here. This here gives it a little button up top here, gives it a little more mass too, and makes it more of a visceral controller. And I would say that kind of is a little better when you're playing like tennis or anything like that, though of course you're gonna have to put the strap on because it'll be flying everywhere. But let's go over the schematics real fast. The rumble is the best I've ever felt. It's HD rumble. I think that's kind of the niche with the Joy-Con. They really went for it. Like the party games, when you're rolling like metal balls in here, like one of the games, you can really feel if there's 1, 2, or 3. It's that visceral. I'll use that word again. But when it comes to some of the controls with the little sticks, the sticks are okay, but I've had better. That's what she said. And the button quality, they're small as well, so I could take or leave the buttons. And the layout of the triggers, they're okay as well. But when you're playing with it in handheld, it really is not that comfortable. There isn't any form to the hand at all, and it starts to get awkward. That's where I would say the Joy-Con are the weakest because of the way that it cramps up. So I wouldn't suggest playing this in handheld mode with the Joy-Con only. You can always go out and get a grip, but again, we'll go over the grips later. Now, I will say the battery life is pretty good. These things, I have to rarely charge it. It normally charges when it's on the Switch, and as long as you have that bad boy charged, these things will never run out. Now, if you have multiple though, like you see here, I have a charging dock, and that helps keep those charged because they will slowly die over time, but I gotta say, that battery life is a-okay. I would say they're pretty durable as well. The remapping is pretty useful because there are a few buttons that I would like to replace in some games, so that kind of makes the Joy-Cons a little more playable as well. The Switch have a long range distance too, so you can walk into your kitchen and still be playing as well. But the buttons are clicky, so they are going to keep up your significant other if you're going to play them in the bed at night, so consider that. The button response is pretty good. I can't tell a latency at all. And the syncing is one of the best parts about a Joy-Con. Say you have multiple Joy-Con and you want to sync up stuff, all you have to do is take the Switch, boom, this red one is now synced up. And some of the color combination are the fun parts. So we can start with the original set that I have here, or I can go a little bit of green and blue. I like that. Or I can go a little bit of the Valentine's Day pink and red. It's your imagination and whatever colors that Nintendo provides you. And super portable as well. I mean, look at that. It fits in my hand pretty easy. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that the left Joy-Con stick drifts, and I so happen to have a culprit. The gray Joy-Con didn't get a lot of attention in this video, but now they will. This left one here is slightly drifty, and man, it doesn't have really a direction that it likes to go in. It just goes crazy. Whenever I try to run, it sticks in one place, and you can't really tell just by me touching it. But when you watch Pokemon Sword or Shield and those characters just go off ghost riding, well, it's because of the Joy-Con drift. And that's a bit of a bummer. Nintendo did have a warranty thing that you can send it in and they'll fix it for you, or you can try to fix it yourself and order sticks and do a shell change while you're at it. But that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to change the shell and the stick at the same time. Unfortunately, I don't play with this gray Joy-Con anymore, so be warned. That does happen with the Joy-Con, at least with the older versions. I don't know if it's been updated yet. There is a release button in the back of each Joy-Con. When I first got a Switch, I didn't know that, and I was trying to pull it off of the system, and I pulled really hard. I didn't damage anything until I realized there was a button that made it come off a lot easier. Just a tip or food for thought for someone who doesn't know that fact. Now, playing games, there are certain games that I just can't play with Joy-Con, and those are fighters, like 2D scrolling fighters. It can't do that, but other than that, the Joy-Con okay. 2D scrollers, the D-pad is not a D-pad, it's these little arrows, and I'm not a big fan of that, but hey, whatever, I can still work with it. Any 3D game, any sports game, what other stuff do we have here? Yeah, just any kind of first-party game, the Joy-Cons, Nintendo really worked to kind of adapt to the Joy-Con. But overall, the Joy-Con are pretty good controllers. I would say the price, though, is pretty steep. Though you get 2 controllers every time you buy a $80 to $70 pack of Joy-Cons. So you really can't argue, but it's hard to find solo Joy-Con out there at, like, game stores. Good luck with that. And some of the other things that I can kind of say, there is in the right controller, there's an IR sensor that really hasn't been utilized much. I've seen it in like the Brain Age game. They did that, but not too much. I hope they mess around with that a little bit more. The plus button, the home button, all those are in good positions. There's not much more I can say other than the Joy-Cons, you know, they're addictive to collect, though not my first controller to go to. So they're going to stand in the middle of my list when it comes to my favorite controllers. But that's all I have to say about the Joy-Con today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. the next one will be all about the Pro Nintendo controller. So we'll go over that and its schematics and how I like it, and see if that is in the top of my list next time. But until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all that you play. I've been Dave. I'm out.